and welcome to Tabletop 24. I'm Alan.
I'm John.
I'm Brian.
And welcome to another episode of Would Play a Game, where we take a look at games we've recently got to the table, with a focus on how quickly you get them back to the table. With ever-growing collections, time can be precious, so we answer the question of would play a game. Today we have Cadaver from Cheatwell Games, designed by Kedrick Winks. Cadaver, we are going to be competing necromancers, trying to reanimate the most corpses before dawn. Okay, we will be starting with a hand of 5 cards. We will be looking to play corpses from that hand, gain resources to enable us to complete those corpses and reanimate them, put them in our scoring pile. But we will have the aid of our accomplices, and we will be fighting off ghouls that other people will be putting down on top of us. We may also get blocked by our corpses being locked up, but we might have the key, therefore, to unlock it. So, plays it quite quickly, plays up to 6 players, and at the end of the game, once we reach the bottom of the deck, the person with the most points wins based on the number of sets that they've got. So a set of 3 identical corpses would score you 10 points. 3 different corpses would score you 5 points. A single corpse scores you 1, and there is a special abomination corpse in the deck that will score you 5 points. So a little bit of different on the scoring there. You can sometimes look into getting the runs that you need, and sometimes you don't. But it's light, it's quick, isn't it?
It's tight. It's in that genre milieu of card and building, Port Royale, quick, easy games, bit of filler before after a session.
A bit more player interaction as well.
Yeah.
You can knock other players out. Yeah. You can steal their corpses.
Can trade. Trade works really well.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you can trade in it, I think it's a positive and a negative. I think you can sometimes build yourself out of a hand. So this hand that I've got to start with isn't necessarily the best, but I could probably go, I'll trade you a scroll for a brain or something like that, and try and get out of it. And you're drawing cards from the deck, and if you've got apprentices out, you're drawing them from this pile. And yeah, you can kind of get through it a little bit, but you're stuck with what you've got sometimes, and trade can be quite cagey. Like, well, if I give you something that you need it.
I've always found out with this kind of trading mechanism in other games as well. I'm clearly going to be giving someone else an advantage, which might be better than my advantage. Yeah. So I never get on with trades very often.
Yeah, it's the Catan issue, isn't it?
It's quite the classic if you got wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
trade you a sheet for a wood.
Unless you're trading against the game itself, at the back.
Yeah.
In which case it's a bit different. But trading other players, I always find it a bit a gamble, really.
Yeah, because you might be giving them something that's a bigger advantage than what you've got, what you've seen in front of you. I mean, there is a slight trade with the game mechanic in the sense of you, instead of playing a card, you can discard it, which enables you to draw more, or at least draw 2. But that's not quick and efficient because you're not guaranteed on what you're going to get. You could end up throwing away a key and drawing a key type thing. You're not guaranteed to get what you want out of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not point of it. It's quite random. If you haven't got the cards in your hand,
you
haven't got the accomplices, you can't reach from these piles. You've just got to draw from the top and hope that you get a card that's going to help advance your game. And several rounds in a row, I found you're just drawing cards, basically getting rid of them again, draw more cards, and not advancing your points.
Yeah, or you get somebody like this, and I've got the scroll accomplice, and then somebody goes ahead and locks up the scrolls. So I can't draw from the scrolls now. I've got no key. I've not seen a key.
Yeah.
There are also 3 less keys than there are coffin lids. So you can kind of end up, which is great, because on the flip side of
that's the tactic of the game.
You can really be strategic with it.
We've given away all the strategic things that we found within the game to give you the options to win. You do lock people out. You do trade and steal from people, and I think that really works really well.
I think take that is nice. It's not unkind.
No,
take that, and he comes around quite regularly, so you don't feel like you're being picked on.
It can be a little bit painful because if you've got a corpse that's got a couple of bits on, so let's say for instance we've got this here, and I've put 2 cards on it. That's my whole turn. Somebody comes along and ghouls it away. I've got no way to defend it, right? Puts me a turn behind, but it doesn't feel bad.
Yeah.
It's as bad for stealing corpses as it can be, really.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of an odd one, and I don't know whether it's because of these 2 guys that I'm playing it with, but it never felt like you'd stolen my game.
It never felt cruel.
No.
Yeah.
Some take that to be cruel, and but we there was no ganging up. It was like, well, I want that and want that, and
Yeah.
and it worked. It's almost polite taking.
Yeah.
It's not the take that is
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got to take that from you, and it for that alone, and the fact that it's stealing corpses, I think is quite nice.
Yeah, I like the artwork. It's nice and consistent.
Yeah, the construction's lovely on these.
The cards feel lovely, and they're quite big. The iconography is quite easy to see from across the table.
Yeah, it's not massively detailed. The fact that your resources are pretty much bold and they're bold on the corpses, I didn't think there's much sort of confusion in what's going on. It's also nice in one way because, like, your accomplices allow you to draw from the relevant piles, but actually it's not like they're saying that. They're just an image, but they're an image with the same icon, even though you don't realise it's the same icon. And you kind of go, oh, actually, it's such soft sort of detail on the cards of how to play the game.
Buffing the rules.
Yeah, and it's kind of just pushes you off. Get that? I mean, there's some nuances to it. There is very much a luck of the draw.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Well, in my opening hand, I've got one corpse and but I have got 2 wild cards.
Yeah. So you can sit on those and protect yourself from ghouls. You can use them as wilds to sort of get what you need at the right time. The last game we had, I didn't see a single amulet. Which that's just the way it goes. And if you then start getting into 6 players, then you're going to see less and less things, I think.
Yeah. You can see definitely there's the game end coming up because the dawn the cards go, dawn is approaching.
Yeah.
So you can see what's coming up down the line.
Yeah, and actually the accomplices elongate the game because instead of going in here, you're going to go for these as well.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a bit of a varied one. They depend upon how many accomplices you've got.
Yeah, I mean, I had all 3 accomplices last game. One was locked, and then the brains were locked, so I literally could only take bottles. Yeah. And it was, but that's the thing. You have to keep an eye on what people have got out. Otherwise, it's going to be to the detriment of your game.
Yeah.
So it isn't just like I'm just looking at this, looking at my cards. There's a lot of that, a lot of movement around the table.
Yeah, and then the good mechanic in is that once you've completed a corpse, the resources go under the pile for the resources. So actually, it's really well worked that later on in the game when you've got more accomplices out, you're more likely to be drawing from here, so the resources themselves are replenishing.
Especially when you see like a double thing coming up.
Yeah.
And it's worth taking it from there, not from there.
Yeah, and again, lengthens the game, allows you to score more points. At 6 players, we've not played this at 6 players, but I can imagine it'd be quite short, and I'm not sure what the scoring would be. Given the
low, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think scoring on this is a bit awkward. I think it's quite clear in what it is, but it can kind of be either a massive gap or no gap.
It's difficult to be strategic about getting a certain number of strategy to win because you're relying so much on the luck of what you're drawing in your hand.
Yeah,
you can obviously steal people's corpses, and that's part of the game as well. I want you to set 3, I'm missing 1, so that's part of the strategy. But it's often difficult to sort of see that because often the corpses I found were like kind of hidden over by the resources.
Yeah, I collected 2 corpses and thought, right, I need a 3rd one for that. When is it going to come up? And I saw you already completed it, so already I'm at a
disadvantage on that side. Which I think is that a little bit.
Yeah, it's good that you can't steal corpses that have been resurrected, which might be an interesting twist on it.
Well, they're resurrected. They're off. They're out of shop. They're gone.
They're gone. Got legs and gone. And I suppose, like I said, there is the strategy to this that, but it plays so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, most of our games are over in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's no real delay on them. It's again, I don't think there's going to be much change to the time with more or less players because you've got the same.
No, I don't.
You've got the same number of turns, really. What might change is if you are using more of the accomplices in the sense of actually recycling those resources. In the last game, the brains got locked off, and my brain accomplice couldn't get anything. So the only brains that we were getting were from the deck.
There's no brains at the table from us.
Exactly.
No, it's. tight and neat in that respect. There's no superfluous rules. There's no superfluous cards. There's nothing that and it's play tested to death. This obviously because it's nothing that's game breaking or changes the game as soon as that card came out. Even the Frankenstein card, which is one off, it's not really a game breaking card. To be honest with you, it's very very well done. Very well.
No, because it needs 3 different resources to get it, whereas every other card needs 2.
Yeah.
So
well done game.
Yeah. So with all that said, John, would you play again?
I'd play again. I'd probably play again soon. I mean, if this was in a bag that came to games night and we were just looking for that filler in that Port Royale Scout quick card game role, then definitely I'd definitely pull it out and play it because it's a lovely one.
Right.
I played again. I liked it. There's quite a few games like this in my collection, so would I want another one? Maybe not. But then again, I do like zombies, so there's that going for it.
Each to their own.
Yeah. And for me, it's we'll play again. I think it fits in that filler slot. We're getting a lot of these games at the minute where they fit in that filler slot. And I think it's nice to have something a little different. Like it's very much it's a set collection card, hand drafting type thing, and it's just a little different. It's nice. It's quick. It's easy. It's not complicated to teach. Although it's a very dark, grim theme, it's not something that you couldn't play with a family.
No, I mean the artwork. They are dead bodies, but they're more garbage pail kids than they are.
Yes,
Craven
or something.
Yeah.
So we've also done a playthrough for this, so if you want to check out a bit of gameplay in a bit more detail, do check that out. That'll be up on the channel probably before this video anyway. So if you haven't done so already, please check out other videos on the channel, give us a like and a subscribe, and we will catch you
Thumbs up
next time. Take care.
Bye.